Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends Spider-Man series, ELEKTRA Nachos Daredevil, which is, I have to say, a pretty cool character design, and it's interesting to me that Hasbro, it seems, I could be mistaking about an elbow or something, I guess, it seems to be all new sculpt. Fine by me, I think it's a really cool character design, and the more new sculpts, the better. Very pleased about that. Is it any good though? I think there's a lot to like about it. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands, not counting the hair poof, about 6 1/8 inches roughly. That's going to make her just about 15.75 centimeters. Here she is up against Darwin. He has some size on her. Not a ton, but probably enough, I would say. Alright, question of the day. Is this a character design you wanted a figure of, or is it just a cool one, so what the heck, you might as well get it? I'm just curious. I don't know how popular ELEKTRA Daredevil is. I'm guessing for the Daredevil people, very popular. I'm guessing for everyone else, it's just cool enough. Okay, so I have to say I am partial. I do like this character design. It's very ninja inspired, and that's a cool thing. And it looks to me like Hasbro did a pretty damn good job with this. There are some things that stand out to me as being a problem. Oops, that's my bad. Particularly, it looks so unfinished. Because there's very little going on here in terms of decoration, or deco as they call it, the paint application. It's only there where it needs to be. As you can see, there's zero shading throughout the whole thing. So this whole area, devoid of any life. If you're not looking at it closely, you don't know what you're looking at, because there's no differentiation between the plastics, there's no differentiation between the colors of red, and there's no shading, there's no paint application, there's nothing going on here at all. So that's very disappointing. Same thing throughout everywhere on the body. There is nothing. Like up here, perfect example. They had to paint the straps and the red panel. It's all the same paint. All the same paint. So there's nothing to bring it to life at all. It's just so dead because there's no wash. Like, just at least throw a wash on it. Something. So that's very unfortunate. Good news is the sculpt is pretty good. There's one weird thing about it. Kind of peeves me a little bit. The wrinkling they did in the abdomen is really strange. And they continued it through the boobages just a little bit on the side there. So maybe that's supposed to look like wrinkling from the stitching or something, but on the abdomen it's very strange. It goes straight across, very weird looking. It is a distraction to the eye when you look at the figure. I don't know what's going on there. A little bit weird. Other thing that's a distraction, you probably noticed it as we were looking at the abdomen, the black plastic they used is shiny as heck, like borderline gloss. It's very, very shiny for the abdomen. That's very unfortunate. Okay, but the sculpt is nice. You can see we do have lots of bandages and things, or wraps, I guess you would say. We have her little ninja pants tied up at the knee. Her wedges, because obviously you have to fight crime in wedges. Can't go out not looking good. I think they did a pretty good job with the ponytail. I like that. The scarf is sculpted well. I like that. She actually has good proportioning. She looks like a lady. If you look at that, she has kind of like a narrower waist, some boobages, some hips. Obviously the baggy pants help, but still, the boobages are back at least to some degree from Hasbro, so that's good. And it's not like we needed boobages, it's just that we need them to look like the characters they're supposed to be. And she's actually drawn fairly busty, so that's a good thing to see. Yeah, it looks pretty darn good. Proportioning is much better than we usually get to see, so I like that. And then while we're talking about the aesthetic, I do want to rip the head off so that I can show you what she looks like without her scarf. We still have some issues. A little bit. I don't necessarily mind the height of the head from the body, but the height of the head from the neck, it's not great. It's quite lollipop-ish. You're going to be able to hide it probably mostly, so that's okay. She's a little bit shiny, but the head sculpt is darn good. I like the sculpt of the head. The paint job around the nose definitely could be a little cleaner. There's a little flesh coming up on the side there, and a little red going down, but it still looks pretty darn good, so I like it. I'm more of a fan of a non-scarf look for this character design. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. But scarves are cool, so it's okay. And they did, by the way, have to mention this. Not going to comment on the hair not blowing in the wind because it's tied up sort of. But they did get the scarf and her whatever thing down here to blow in the same direction. So I like that. I'll take it. That's a good neutral stance, and it's going to be good in action poses. So whoever designed this one, whoever sculpted it, I should say, maybe designer, I don't know how much they play a role in like windswept things. They actually cared to make this one look good. So I'm glad to see that on a new mold, they actually put some effort into it. So that's very, very good. And don't ever say I say only bad things about Hasbro, because I don't. I only do it when it's justified. And this figure looks really good. It needs a wash or something to bring it to life. But it does look good what's there. So I'm going to go 9 out of 10 for the aesthetic. Really nice. Really, really nice overall. Now, as far as accessories go, Hasbro's bothering me with the lack of accessories. They've been pushing it harder and harder, and this time, all we get is her 2 size. No alternate hands or anything else. So until we get a reasonable amount of accessories, at least fist hands. At least fist hands. I'm going to do 0 out of 10. Okay, so yeah, we have size. Great. 0 out of 10. No fist hands, no rating for you. All right, articulation. Very pleased to report we have a double ball peg. The top ball is the standard Hasbro ball, so that's always going to be a big one. The bottom one, they're doing a little bit better, I guess. It's still really low in the neck and doesn't have much. Doesn't afford much posability. That defeats the whole purpose of a double ball peg. We still have the goofy lollipop sort of situation that we see with their normal hinges. The double ball peg, it's like they're trying to make double ball pegs not a good thing so that they don't have to do them in the future. It's weird. But it's not bad overall. Because of the lollipop nature of it, you can pose her head around a little bit, and or quite a bit, and as long as you're careful with your angles, you're going to be able to get it in some cool poses. So I like that. The hair, it's static. It's not going anywhere. Shoulders, we have traditional shoulders on her. They go up to horizontal. You get the full rotation. You get your bicep swivel. That's not a usual thing. You get your double jointed elbow, pinless joints if you like those. That's a good thing for you. This hand gets a vertical hinge. Oh, it's very tight. It's there though. And then this hand gets a horizontal hinge. So if you like some variety, you get that. I think I'd probably rather have just 2 vertical hinges for somebody who has to hold weapons, but you get variety. Torso joint, I'm going to tell you right now, it's half great. Watch this. Leans really far back. That's very nice. Leans side to side really well. You get your rotation leaning forward. None. It's weird that they don't have kind of a balance of going not all the way back and then not at all forward. Do somewhere in between. But it is a really nice diaphragm joint nonetheless. If they had paired it properly with another ball peg down here, this figure would be top tier Marvel Legends for sure. But there's no more articulation. Hell, even if they added that hinge that a lot of you guys like, a lot of you hate, whatever, the upside down ab crunch down here, it would have helped. But she can't lean forward other than at the hip. So that's a bummer. This is obviously a floaty piece. It's going to be really cumbersome and annoying to have on there. Frankly, it might be better off to just be glued because it's thin enough that it's not going to impede articulation enough. If you're feeling froggy, you might glue it. You might glue it in place because it's really annoying. But whatever. Okay, so for the hips, bad news is brand new hips, 45 degrees, just better than. It's not a good setup. I don't know why they do that. All right, going forward, not even close to horizontal, almost only 45 degrees for that too. So very limited hips. They do go back just a touch. That's really a shame. There's no reason for that. Don't say it's because they're baggy. That's not necessary. They can easily, like they fit. They're already in the socket, so you can make them work. Very unfortunate. Thigh swivel is gonna be a thigh swivel. That's cool. Double jointed knee. Works nicely. Proportioning is pretty good. I will take that. You do get a boot swivel, which is nicely hidden by the sculpt, so that's nice. You can actually utilize that without it looking ridiculous, so that's pretty good. Ankles go pretty far back, as in like all the way, and really far forward, and the ankle rocker is reasonable given her wedges. So articulation could be better in a few places, but it is solid. It's definitely, for Marvel Legends, top tier. One of the better things they've released. The sculpt is leagues better than most of the things they sculpt. Articulation works really nicely. And it really just needs accessories and a wash. That's really as far as like needs. Yeah, obviously you can always add more paint and make it look better, but just a wash would have really made this figure pop. And some fist hands or something. But articulation's good. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10 for, no, 8 out of 10 for articulation. Hips are too limited. Neck doesn't work right. But it's still good. Like, it's really good articulation for a Hasbro figure. Okay, and I know a lot of you were probably wondering, I'm guessing all of you, every single one of you is wondering, hey, that looks like it could be a cool figure to pose with a Rival Clans figure. And you're right, it would be a cool figure to pose with a Rival Clans figure. But I digress. Yes, I know I should have my line done by now, guys, but having a baby and everything slowed everything down, so you're gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to just do whatever you want to do, I guess. Okay, so final verdict on this release. One of the best looking Hasbro figures I've reviewed in a long time. Poses pretty well. Looks good. Needs more accessories. I'm gonna go for Hasbro 9 out of 10. There's definitely room for improvement, but this is a darn good one. If you're into collecting Marvel Legends, this is one you should not miss, unless you hate the character or something like that. But whoever did this one did a much better job than they normally do, or than the other people who normally do the figures. I don't know how it happens, but like, there's a significant difference here, and I don't want to hear, okay, well, we're distributing budget. Yeah, I get it. But if you have to do it in such a way that you end up with garbage and really good, there probably needs to be more of a middle ground, or the figure should cost more. It has to be done better. Because if half the line is garbage getting sold at $5 at Target in discount, then what's the point? It's like in the interview Shartimus had, it's like they said, well, we'd have to do 30 figures a year that are better and cost more than 100 that are crappy. Not exactly in those words. And it's like, yeah, make the better ones. We don't want 100 crappy figures. I think I speak for everyone. I don't really, but I think that's a reasonable stance. Make them better. Anyway, this is a good one. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. In the meantime, keep collecting.